Hi everybody, this is Early Medieval Embroidery and I'm Alexandra Makin. So today is a short video, it's a short catch up on the Bayeux Tapestry project. I've got some exciting parcels to show you, well one exciting parcel, and people have started asking me questions about the project, and so I'm going to try and answer some of those today as well. So as you may remember, in the first video I put out about the project, when I introduced it all, I mentioned that I'm going to be embroidering my montage panel to the size of the original. That's a brilliant idea, but it then dawned on me that the embroidery frames I've got aren't big enough for that, because I'm stitching a panel that's about 80 centimetres long and 50 or so centimetres high. This means I need a frame that will take fabric that's bigger than this. So I have ordered a bigger frame and it's arrived, and I thought you might like to share the opening of the parcel with me. Okay, it's all very exciting. So this is it. And if I can get into it, I'll show you all the bits. So this is what we call a slate frame. It's a traditional frame that embroiderers have used for centuries, literally. We have manuscript illuminations from the medieval period, and there's a possible illustration from the early medieval period, which I'll talk more about in another post. So this is not something unusual and something that wouldn't be probably unknown at that time. So this is the width of the panel that we're going to be working on together. It's a lovely frame, and one of the reasons I chose this particular one was because I will get there. Here we go. You can tell this hasn't been rehearsed. It's because we don't have any evidence for how slate frames, if they existed in the early medieval period, would have been pegged together. And archaeologists often find what they call miscellaneous artefacts. And I've noticed in some excavation reports that there have been in the miscellaneous object sections pieces of wood of different shapes that I thought could have been used for securing embroidery frames. And one of the reasons I chose this particular frame, not only because of its size, was because it also comes with these wooden pegs. A lot of modern embroidery slate frames come with metal pegs, and I thought it would be a really good idea to test this system out. So I wanted to use these, to try these out, to see if they are similar to objects that we find on excavation sites. So I'm assuming a lot of you will know what a slate frame is, but for those of you who don't, it's basically two long wooden bars, and you place the side arms in here. These are looking a bit short, might have to do some measuring. You put the arms in here. This is webbing, and obviously you can see nowadays these are stapled in place, and you attach your ground fabric, the fabric which you're going to embroider, to this. On each side, it has to be done evenly, and I'll show you that when we do the framing up process. You pull it tight, and then you use your pegs to put the arms in place so that they're held in place, and then you can pull the fabric tight along the width, keep pulling along the length until it sounds like a drum. And then that keeps it what we call taut, tight, during the whole of the working process. I know a lot of embroiderers use ring frames or embroidery hoops nowadays. I use them myself. And one of the reasons I'm not using one of those for this project is because we have absolutely no evidence that sort of embroidery frame from the early medieval period. I'm trying to, as I said in the introduction video, I'm trying to stick to as authentic materials and equipment as possible, and so that's why I've chosen this frame over an embroidery hoop. So that was the exciting parcel. Well, I hope you're as excited about it as I was. We're now going to move on to part 2 of this video, which is answering some of your questions. So what's happened is I've posted links to this my previous video across social media channels, and people have contacted me with their questions, so that's why you might not see some of these in the comments section on the other video. However, if you've got any questions, particularly on the back of this video, then do pop them in the comments box and I'll try and answer them when I do my next recording. Okay, so first question, how long is the project going to take? That's a brilliant question and I don't know the answer to it. I suppose to give some perspective, the kits that I've produced where they've incorporated just one animal from the border, they take about a weekend to stitch, and that's not including the prep work, etc. So we could extrapolate that out, but this process will be slowed a little because we're obviously not just stitching, we're looking at how the original embroiderers did the work as well. So that will slow the process down. Next question. Oh yes, a number of people have asked if I can post weekly. I can't, I'm sorry. I would love to be able to do that, but I've got so many other projects and work and things on the go that it won't be as regular as that. I am hoping to post every fortnight, every 3 weeks, and there may be shorter posts coming in between with quick updates as well, if I've thought or seen of something that I think you might be interested in. Another question people have asked is, what am I going to do with the project, the finished embroidery at the end? Well, I'm going to frame it. I don't know if I'm going to frame it so you can see the front or the front and the back. I've not worked that out yet. And then all the results from the project I'm going to write up and I'm hopefully going to get published as a journal article. I've also been asked, will I be running workshops linked to this project? I'm looking into the idea of running online workshops. They won't necessarily be linked to this particular project, but they will be perhaps involving different aspects of designs based on the Bayeux Tapestry, so for instance kits and things like that. However, I will be posting those short stitch focus videos that show you how to create each of the stitches. I will be doing a couple of slow stitch videos so you can grab your embroidery and stitch along with me. And I suppose a carry on from that last question, a number of people have been asking if there will be a kit available for them to work at home. At the moment, I've not really thought that far ahead. I have got the smaller kits for sale, and I'm also been thinking, this has been percolating away for a while actually, of putting together inspiration packs where you have the needle, some fabric and threads, all authentic, but you decide what you want to stitch. So I'm having to think about that. If you like that idea or if you've got any other suggestions or ideas, then do post them in the comments section, that would be great. And I suppose finally, so many people are really on board with this project and they've told me how excited they are about it. That's brilliant. I'm really excited about it as well. But it's also made me a little bit scared. It's made me realise how big this project could be and what we might learn from it. So wish me luck. If you want to follow the project and get pinged every time a new video comes out, then hit that subscribe button and I'll see you next time.